This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Thursday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, SiriusXM Channel 158. Gil Alexander, Kelly Midland in the hizzy.
Good morning.
Hey, you don't sound very excited this morning. You okay?
I'm very excited.
A little step off today?
No.
No. Okay.
Step off.
I don't know. I thought you were step behind right there on the take. On the show today, Zach and Crack. You know how that goes. Bill Krackomberger a little later on Unscripted with Crackman. Bill Krackomberger, who, as Will Hill said last week, was throwing 102 on the corners.
Mm-hmm.
He was just on fire last week. We'll see if he can match that performance again later today on the show. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, strip clubs and stuff.
That's correct. Yes, I do.
Two dudes don't drink and going to strip clubs. Not understanding strip clubs.
That was your review?
Yeah, that was my review.
Oh, we didn't understand the strip clubs? Was that your take on it?
No, that's not what I said.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you said. Zach Cohen on the NFL and NBA and the host of Hardwood Handicappers. How often do you get on Hardwood Handicappers,
Once
sir?
a week. I will be on there tomorrow with Zachary.
How was long shots yesterday?
It was great.
Yeah?
It's great. First one's up now. Yeah, tournament doesn't tee off for another 2.5 hours. So, yeah, go check it out.
Guess who forgot to sign up for the Splash Sports one and done?
Don't worry. I did all of that organizing yesterday. I was like, let me get in all my contests and everything. And it was like at the end, like, okay, now who am I going to play?
Yeah, there's that. The reason will become apparent why I forgot momentarily. Mike Somich going to join us later, co-host of Ready, Set, Bet, talk NFL, and he'll have some hockey picks. Man always has some hockey picks.
Loves his hockey bet.
Loves his hockey. Hockey here, hockey there, hockey everywhere with Somich. He'll Samo bomb us a little later on the show. And Tim Murray to talk natty with us and beyond. Maybe he's got some NFL thoughts as well. So we will get into all that. The reason I forgot to enter is because I was in full Australian Open draw mode, doing numbers on the men's side, the women's side, which we'll get to momentarily because I have some thoughts. We're doing the podcast later today. Me, Drew Dinsick, and Zach Cohen. It is, how can I describe it if you're new to listening to this show? What's the old Deion Sanders thing when he played both football and baseball? There was a sign, and he said this perfectly reflects my career, which is baseball is my brain, football is my brain on crack. Well, tennis is my brain, football is my brain on crack when it comes to handicapping. So it's the most awesome thing in the world. And before we get to that, can we just, you have any reaction to John Harbaugh and the Giants real quick?
One of the better jobs. I mean, me and you did the whole exercise, what was it, last week of, if you had to, which job would you be most attracted to? And I think we kind of settled on it was Giants or Falcons, right?
Falcons was kind of it.
Falcons, if you like the better roster, if you wanted to focus on a better younger quarterback, probably go with the Giants. So I don't think I'm surprised by the choice. It felt quick. I don't know what that means.
He sure didn't want to take any time off, did he?
Right, yeah. Like I don't know what that means, but like it just felt quick.
Yeah. Well, my reaction is, a lot of people are, oh, wow, this is a great thing. The Giants are so excited and all this. Why am I not as like moved as other people are? In the end, he's a CEO type of head coach, right?
Yeah.
He was a special teams coordinator. Then he became the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. And in all his years in Baltimore, and he's listen, they had a great run, but great is tempered by the fact that they won one Super Bowl with John Harbaugh as the coach. Am I not mistaken about that?
Yep, no, you're right.
And so Brian Billick won the one in 2000. So yeah, one with John Harbaugh in 2012, the Harb Bowl, if you will, against his brother Jim, when the Ravens beat the Niners. But just look at the course of that career. He didn't manage to win one, right, with prime Lamar.
Yes,
Lamar Jackson, who, say what you will, two-time MVP, and the third year where he should have won it was he rewrote the record books. He also had maybe the greatest kicker of all time in Justin Tucker, and had stout defenses the whole way through, and could not win a Super Bowl. I just want to temper the excitement of all, because this is not an X's and O's guy like a Ben Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Who comes in with a specific skill set that translates to the field. So when you're a CEO coach, a lot has to coalesce for that to work. So I'm just saying, I don't know, with the Giants, Will Jackson Dart become Lamar Jackson? Will they have the players on defense? Well, they do have a talented defense, but will it coalesce in the same way that it did in Baltimore to even be a competitor, to even contend? I don't know. I'm not as excited about it as other people are.
I think the conversations become interesting, and you're not one of the people I've heard go in hard on that, but like you just brought it up right now of the, hey, you don't really specialize offense, defense. Man, I've heard some arguments, though, where I think we're gone too overboard with that, where it's like, I don't have a problem with a CEO head coach, but everything's got to work well, right?
I don't either, but it's more abstract, right?
It is. I mean, in theory, I like the idea of it better, right? A specialist on offense and defense and someone overseeing everything. But man, I think this whole John Harbaugh out there in the market has really driven that conversation more than I've heard it in years. Like, man, there's a couple guys I've heard of, like, if you don't specialize on one side of the ball, like, you shouldn't even have a head coaching job.
Well, I mean, and oftentimes, the counter is sometimes great coordinators make terrible head coaches, right? Norv Turner leaps to mind, right? Yeah. Guys like that. So I'm not saying that there's one way to do it, but my excitement is tempered.
No, me too.
Right?
Because I think if you are talking about a coach like that, you would want a more complete roster, right? Well, you'd be more excited with him if he took over Atlanta, right?
Giants are pretty loaded. I mean, not as loaded as Atlanta, though. Yes. I would be much more. Whoever gets the Atlanta job, they are in a catbird seat. I think
the other one I find interesting, just for the coaches
of the new
openings,
quick, I should say.
It's I'm becoming a believer in almost any of these guys, but like especially Mike McDaniel. Are any of these head coaching openings really better for you now than what like a Lions offensive coordinator job could be, and then springboard you to another better landing spot? And I think Atlanta is the only job that I can say I would take over that Lions offensive coordinator job.
All right, let's look at some quarters of the Australian Open, baby.
These just come down this morning?
First of all, Nevada, when you get sports betting, boy, this is going to be some hell of a state. They're nowhere here. No quarters here. BetMGM Nevada, sleep at the wheel.
Draw yesterday?
Draw, yes. Last night, our time.
Right, okay.
Yes. This morning, Australia time.
When do we officially start the Australian Open?
This weekend.
Okay. I feel like I'm missing I feel like I've missed a week of a Australian tournament.
We're in Adelaide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brisbane already happened?
Brisbane already happened.
I missed Brisbane already? All right.
Yeah. Hobart. Melbourne coming up. So here's the deal. Quarter by quarter men's side. And I'll do this again. I'll do it on the podcast. We'll get Drew's thoughts. We'll get Zach's. My quick reaction to these. These are available DraftKings. So quarter number one on the men's side, Carlos Alcaraz. Appropriate that he is a minus 500 favorite. I don't think you can force a bet. I think if Alex de Minaur, an Aussie himself, if he ended up in a different quarter, he would have been live. So if you put the proverbial you must take another player here, it would be de Minaur.
Okay,
but I just don't think it's realistic. But that's the only other name I would consider here. And that's going to apply to the center quarter as well, right? Ben Shelton ended up in the center quarter, which is quarter 4. If Sinner had ended up in a different quarter, he would have been a consideration, but I don't think you could take him against the great Yannick Sinner. Now, second quarter, this one is going to be, bets will be induced here, but I wish Daniil Medvedev had a nicer price. He's only 2-1. He does have the better raw numbers on hard courts than Sasha Zverev, who has been the third best player in the world for some time, but Daniil Medvedev was the third best for some time as well. But the veteran Medvedev, who has won one slam, he is the appropriate short shot. I just wish it was a better price because then I would bet it, but not at plus 200.
No love for FAA?
No.
Not this tournament?
Not this tournament.
What is this, the all-Russian quarter? Stick Rublev and Medvedev in there?
They're buddies, by the way. Zverev happens to be German. Third quarter is where I think you might, if there was one bet that I could endorse on a quarter, this is Novak Djokovic's quarter. Now, he's got the best numbers still at the age of 38 of all these guys, which is incredible, at plus 135, so he's appropriately priced. But if I were making a bet here, Lorenzo Musetti at plus 650 would be the guy.
And you kind of had a feeling you were going to say that name. I was really hoping you were going to say another one. My boy Grigor. Just got so much respect for that guy.
Well, Grigor's been spending a lot of time with girlfriend, you know.
You know what?
And who could blame him?
I can't at all.
Yeah.
wanted to back him, but you're right. Maybe I should give him a little time to get into the season, you know?
Anyway, that's the men's. The women's side. By the way, did they put all 4 quarters up at DraftKings? I only saw the first quarter this morning.
We'll hit the rest of them
here's the 4. Here's the Yannick Sinner one at minus 700. Like I said, Ben Shelton was in a different quarter. He might be live, but he ended up in Sinners. And João Fonseca, still not a thing.
Is there? I meant to ask you this the other day when we were looking at some of those props. Are we once again too much love for João out of the gates here?
People got a little crazy with João.
It's just, are the books protecting themselves? Is it more of that? Protect themselves from the young guy that they think could be the up and
I think that's a pretty nice price.
Okay,
but he's not going to beat Sinner.
Yeah,
this is it's too top heavy on the men's side. Do you not want to do women's side?
No, we can't.
Okay, let me just start
I didn't know how much time you wanted to lock in.
I mean, if people want the real hard-o version of this, they can tune into the podcast. Oh man, we get into it. First quarter, women's side. Aryna Sabalenka, the number 1 seed, the favorite in the tournament, minus 230. If you had to make another bet in this quarter, not saying I will, but I am tempted.
I like guessing where you're going to go. Marta?
Yes, Marta Kostyuk plus 650. She's had a great start to the season. Didn't beat Sabalenka when they played, though, but I believe it was like 6-4, 6-4, if I'm not mistaken.
Is this another one with Mboko? Is there too much early love in the season for Mboko?
A little too early. I mean, that would be awesome. But yeah, just a little too early. Sabalenka's got the numbers. Kostyuk is the one that if you were making another bet, I think you would go that way in quarter number 1. We'll get to quarter 2, 3, and 4 as we country club a little later on because you got some Sony Open stuff to talk about.
We'll do that next.
We'll do that. We'll just continue with it.
Yeah, we'll cram in the tennis and the golf next.
Oh,
get through all that.
Man. Did you see this 1-point slam idea they did at the Australian Open?
No, but I saw the highlights.
It was awesome. The best thing I saw, SBF does, best thing I saw today, best thing I saw. I got to talk about that too on the other side. Numbers game, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, coming back.
Laptop or phone, couch or sportsbook, VSiN goes where you go. Wherever you watch VSiN, the experience stays seamless. Live shows, replays, and sports-specific clips all at your fingertips. VSiN Watch puts you in the driver's seat. Available in Roku, Samsung, Amazon, iOS, Android, app stores, or get it direct from the source at VSiN.com. Download VSiN Watch today on your favorite app store and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Coming up on Thursday's edition of Money Moves, you're going to need your parkas because we're hitting the ice. Jonathan Davis, VSiN NHL analyst, will join us in studio, as will Nick Alberga, Leafs Morning Take, as we get you set and in-depth previews for futures and more for the National Hockey League. Plus, a little bit of college football as the national championship approaches. Nicole Auerbach, lead college football insider for NBC Sports, and we can't forget about the pros, as Jeff Erickson, a pro himself from RotoWire, will be with us to preview the NFL. So join us, Money Moves, 11 to 1 Pacific, 2 to 4 Eastern, here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Now on VSiN.com, Greg Peterson's college basketball best bets, Zachary Cohen's Houston, New England, and Rams Bears previews for this weekend, Adam Burke's natty prediction between the Canes and the Hoosiers. Coming up today, Zachary Cohen's NBA best bets, Jonathan Davis's NHL picks and props, and the Australian Open Megapod will make its way as well to the airwaves. Coming up, all of that. VSiN.com/subscribe. Save $60 off a VSiN Pro annual subscription with promo code ANG.
ANG. As an A numbers game.
Yes, indeed.
See, now we had multiple of these, and I don't even know when I'm supposed to jump in or not, you know?
What do you mean?
With the promo code.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't know. The computer's on the fritz.
It's not you. It's just now we have multiple with promo codes. I don't want to get obnoxious with it.
We should probably pick either you do the first or the second.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go to the second one. We'll do the second one.
Conversations we should have off air. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's continue with this because first of all, the 1 point slam thing. Can I talk about this for a second?
Yeah. I just pulled it up.
Okay.
So what was it? Sinner and some amateur?
No. Listen to this. So, tennis does these exhibition things where they all wear like the Bobby Brown, Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Mics on their head. Like,
it's usually awful in every sport that tries to do this stuff.
The My Prerogative microphone. And it's never that entertaining, right? It's never that entertaining. Right. It's like, oh, look, Naomi Osaka cracked a joke. That's hilarious, right? It's like it's great for 5 minutes.
Like, I love the idea of TGL. The problem is that golfers have no personality.
No personality, right? Most of these tennis players don't either.
Yeah.
A couple of the guys do. But anyway, so they came up with an idea at the Australian Open. It was actually last year. But it didn't get a lot of fanfare last year because the top players didn't buy into it. But it's this 1 point slam, they call it. So there's 48 players, so that means that some have a bye, right? And it's done in a bracket style. Vegas college basketball tournaments, listen into this. You should use a bracket, right? It still works, brackets. So it ends up being a mix of the top players in the world. So Carlitos was in it, Yannick Sinner was in it, Iga was in it, men's and women's, Anisimova was in it. Low-level pro players, right, who can struggle all their lives to even make these tournaments. And then amateurs who are like local Australian TV personality kind of people or comics or that. Like it was a whole mix of people. Okay. So the idea is they're obviously not playing matches against each other. It's 1 point. It's like Kelly Bidlin versus Yannick Sinner in a bracket, 1 point. So in other words, someone could hit it off a frame. You could beat Yannick Sinner, Kelly.
Right.
Okay. So what ends up happening is for $1 million. $1 million. Whoever wins gets $1 million. It was 1 point. It's the most awesome thing ever because you end up. By the way, this low. I think he's a low-level pro named Jordan Smith, Australian guy, won the $1 million. But essentially, what ended up happening was this guy ended up facing like the 147th ranked women's player in the world, Joanna Garland, in the finals. 1 point, right? It's just this real quick thing where everybody's in the same court.
It's awesome.
It's awesome because, and now you could make the accusation, oh, Yannick Sinner purposely double faulted to give the guy advance, right? You could say that on some of these, but eventually what you get is you either get a amateur against a low-level pro where they're like taking it super serious.
Sure.
Or you end up with the occasional pro that donks off a shot by accident against an amateur or a low-level pro. Or the most fascinating combination is you end up with a top women's player against a top men's player and see how that goes down. Now, Iga can't beat Flavio Cobolli in a best-of-3 match. But in a 1 point thing, not only did she beat him and did beat him, but she can make him look stupid. So there's that kind of, it was just the best thing ever. The greatest idea, I think, ever gag thing that any sport ever did. And people were going nuts over it yesterday.
No, I'm sitting here reading up on it, too. This is great. This is great. So this is Jordan Smith. So this one says he's an amateur.
Amateur.
Local amateur player.
Local amateur player. Jordan Smith. Aussie. Your basic Aussie bloke.
Yeah. $670K US dollar strong.
$1 million Australian.
Australian dollar
That's
week
right
now.
$1 million Australian, I should point out.
This is like video. I just watched the quick video of the final point though. Like they're going nuts. Everybody's going nuts. It's awesome.
It got super competitive in some spots. It was awesome. Anyway.
Also, like I love the pro versus Joe thing. Like, I love when we criticize the pro for not taking it serious. It's like, come on, man. Like, the whole point is to give the random person a chance.
It's like, if it were an NBA player, you versus, I don't know, Steph, and you just hoist up a 40-footer that goes in,
right?
And you beat Steph. That kind of anyway.
That's great.
Quarter number 2 on the lady side is Coco's quarter. She's at plus 180. Mira Andreeva's plus 240. Svitolina has really good numbers at 6-1, but I think Coco probably gets through here. I'd have to see Yala. I didn't actually look at her numbers, but Coco is the short shot. I don't think there's a real solid bet there. If I was forced to do one, it'd be Svitolina. Quarter number 3, I haven't seen these numbers, by the way. I'm just looking at these. I only saw first quarter on the lady side, so I haven't seen these. Number 3, quarter 3 rather, on the lady side at the Australian Open. Do we have that? Nair.
What? Real quick, what about Emma Navarro?
Oh, here we go.
Her game's falling off.
This is what I wanted to see. Emma Navarro. Yeah, she's not playing her best.
Okay.
She is.
That number caught me by surprise a bit.
She is not playing her best. I had her yesterday against Schneider. Schneider, she lost.
And any reason I should get in on my girl Vondrasova?
She's always live, man.
Always live.
Yeah. Mana Nisimova in quarter number 3, by the way. She is the short shot, as she should be. But Jessie Pegula at 4-1 remains the value. That's the value play in that quarter.
Yeah, wow.
Jessie Pegula, whose numbers never fall off.
What, they stuck all the Americans in one quarter?
We'll still throw all you Americans in there.
Feels like they struggled with the deciding these quarters this year.
Pegula 4-1 is the value there. Anisimova properly priced. Remember, Madison Keys is the defending champion of this. Remember, she won her first ever slam last year. And then quarter number 4, Iga's quarter. She was done no favors because in her quarter is Elena Rybakina, Naomi Osaka, and Belinda Bencic. Those 4 players are the only 4 players who can win this quarter. Iga, the appropriate short shot, but Rybakina and Osaka's numbers are still great on hard courts. So if there was a value play here, I would say Naomi at 7-1.
You haven't bet any of these yet, right?
Nope. I'm just seeing these for the first time.
Reminder for you. Check stations before you go.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
I didn't see him up, though, there.
Yeah. Golf time?
Yeah, golf. We got Sony Open in 2 hours, man. So
it's late start. Oh,
late start because we're in Hawaii. Yeah,
right.
So figured I'd revisit things. They did add one bet and then some, had to fire some first-round leader bets for the first tournament of the year, of course. Does look like there's a possible... It's calmed down a little bit from last night. Looks like there could be a possible wave advantage here with winds hitting the course a little heavier in the afternoon. So first-round leader bets, I did focus in on some of the guys with early tee times. Colin Morikawa, Kurt Kitayama, Rico Hoey, and the first-round leader god, Keith Mitchell. Bet all 4 of those, 33-1, 45-1, 51-1, and 56-1 for first-round leader. All those guys, yeah, if you want to say Kelly decided to bet on people that can't putt, that's true. Good ball strikers, not a lot of putting going on there. Reminder on the outrights, and you can check out long shots if you're looking for more details on all of this. But Colin Morikawa, I did bet at 22-1. Still coming off a season where he had excellent numbers off the tee and on approach. Putter was hurting a little bit, but he's had some time. Hopefully he can get that fixed. Minor first tournament of the year, too. There's going to be a lot of equipment change going on with these guys that we're not really going to find out till afterwards. So I would just recommend taking it easy out of the gates here. Colin Morikawa has not played here since 2021, but has had good finishes here, T7 and a T21 in the 2 times that he has. Siwoo Kim was Gil's heard me bet Siwoo Kim a million times before. I was not expecting to bet him at this tournament at this number, but he's a guy that's really played well late into the fall and even early in the winter. Had a third place finish at the Australian Open of golf just a month ago. So he's one of these guys that's really been playing more than most he's going up against in this field. Won here in 2023. This is the 5th most predictive course when it comes to course history on the PGA Tour. Really not something that I will lean into heavily throughout the year. Like Gil, like to rely on recent data and stats more from what they're doing in recent form more than course history. But for the start of the tournament, I think when you have a predictive course like this, I'd lean on this more. It's probably a good chance, Gil. Besides the Masters, there's a chance I lean on course history more here than any other tournament. Yeah.
Okay.
Chris Kirk also on the outright card for me, 45-1. I played him a ton down the stretch last summer. He was playing really well, kind of gaining everywhere statistically, even with the putter, gained in 8 of his last 9 events. So I'm hoping that somehow carries over. I wouldn't expect it, but this guy's played the Sony Open a ton. He has finishes of second solo, a third solo, a T2, a T5 in his career. He's played this course a lot, so should know it well. And then Nico Echeverria, a guy that a lot of people got excited about last year, played him lightly last year. I think this year, though, especially a course like this, could fit very well for him. He's a really good putter, and where his approach numbers really lock in are that 150 to 200 range, where you're going to see a lot of approach shots coming from, and he finished second in this event last year. And then my late ad, Mac Meisner, this was kind of going off the model. He rated out very highly for what I was looking at statistically. Yes, has not played a ton, but had a good false swing for him. He's kind of my long bomb ad at 98-1, and my one and done selection for this week. And Gil, you can't play someone in one and done and not bet on them.
No. Can't do that.
That's like playing Survivor and not betting on the team.
So a lot of faith in Morikawa here out of the box for you.
I would put it more of a buy low on Morikawa.
Okay.
I think that number is not very. He should be up there with the rest of the favorites, in my opinion.
Makes sense. We'll come back. A little stage of elimination in the NFL. It's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big, we go all night, and here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to VSiN.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on the numbers game. Don't forget about the sharp plays, unmatched transparency with the records updated daily, AI betting analysis, real-time global betting info, alerts directly from the pros. Scan the QR code for more. Sharpplays.com. Check it out. Kelly, I don't know if you know this, but we get tweets at Beating the Book. Are you aware of that?
No way.
Ooh, these renderings of the new Commodore Stadium in D.C. Have you seen this?
I did, thanks to Dave Ross.
John Keim tweeted it out.
Or Jensen. I don't remember who sent it. Jensen.
Jason H11 tweeted it out to me. He said, impressive. What I love about the renderings is it gives a nod to the old RFK Stadium. In other words, it looks like the silhouette of RFK still, but with a roof on top, basically. But the silhouette on the D.C. skyline. By D.C. skyline, I mean, if you look at the Lincoln Memorial and then the Washington Monument, behind it you see the sort of curve of RFK. Perfect.
That's badass.
Badass is exactly what that is.
Also,
let's go.
Also, good. Bravo, Commanders. I've got one stadium note, and I go bravo. You know why, Gil?
Why?
Because I see a roof.
Kelly Bidlin trying to ruin football actively. Trying to actively ruin football by never having another outdoor game
ever. Look
at
this gorgeous glass roof. You could get the sunlight in.
It's a gorgeous stadium.
Yeah, it looks perfect.
It's a beautiful thing. Like I said, as a kid, right, it's on the RFK site there is the eastern corner of D.C.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look due east, there's that perfect silhouette. And I would always, as a kid, be like, look, RFK. Like everybody's looking at the monuments.
Do you really drive over water here? Or is that just like a fake rendering? Looks like there's water. There's water, right?
On that side of D.C. there is, yeah, into...
That'd be really cool. A really
Waldorf,
cool entrance.
I believe into Waldorf, Maryland, if I'm not mistaken.
Looks like there's a moat around it.
It's on one side. There's water, yes. Again, eastern edge of D.C. This is also from Twitter. Tronsky, hey, Gil, I missed the Megapod yesterday. I don't see it in my feed. Did I hear Wishnev say it was Thursday this week? Thanks and love the show. We recorded the podcast yesterday, the Megapod. Wyatt Tomchek was doing stuff, though, so he will put it up today.
In San Jose, California, calling those Lady Rebs basketball game.
And speaking of the Megapod, Shooter McGamblin, thank you, Shooter, for tallying this up. We do a thing called Dumbo of the Week with NFL coaches.
Mm-hmm.
He tallies up, so racking up all the Dumbo nominations and winners throughout the season. It appears we are going to end in a three-way tie between Jonathan Gannon, wow, I wouldn't have expected that, Mike McDaniel, and Brian Callahan, all finished the year with 2 Dumbo wins and 3 total nominations each. Impressive for Callahan, doing it in a fewer games. Oh, Callahan with I was saying Shanahan, pardon me. Oh, not Shanahan. I was talking about Callahan with the Titans.
Yeah.
Why did I get Schottenheimer in my head? Sorry about that. He continues, says, of the playoff coaches, Vrabel, McKay, and Ryans all have at least one Dumbo to their name, so the race is not technically over yet. Thank you, Shooter McGamblin, for tallying that up for us.
I'm surprised those big a loser head coaches got that much reaction.
Well, so there were 12 head coaches this past week. 6 of them got Dumbo nominations for something idiotic that they did this past week.
Yeah, but bigger stage, bigger moments, they should be criticized more.
Chokers.
Wait, Brian Callahan, what was he supposed to do all year?
Jamie Buckhold, make better decisions, I guess. Jamie Buckhold. Most importantly, when is the Australian Open pod going to be out? Definitely love your tennis insight, Gil. Feel free to spend a little time on your show this morning about what might have caught your eye. Well, we already did. I didn't even see your tweet, so thank you, Jamie. We are recording it at 3:30 Pacific today. That's when the Win Studio is available. So 6:30 Eastern. We will have it out thereafter.
Let me also just say it was extremely flattering. Not that for all of you listeners of long shots out there, I'm sorry that you had to wait a little extra day longer than we're used to doing it as well. We did record it on Wednesday, but it was extremely, extremely flattering and humbling, Gil, to see how many tweets came in between, kind of end of last week till yesterday of like, where the hell's long shots at?
Yeah.
Get it up. So sorry for the delay. I declared yesterday, I believe this is true.
Did you say I do declare?
I do declare.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was the busiest day in VSiN podcast recording history. So it was
right.
It was podcast.
Collective.
Yeah, as far as recording, it was stacked pod on top of pod. UFC had one. I know First Strike. Check that out. It'll be coming out soon if it's not up already. Sorry, Rob.
Shrek McPhee, AO drawing Megapod Day. Wow, time flies. Here we go. LFG. He also adds $100 million for Harbaugh. Holy blank. He better win a Super Bowl in that time frame. Yeah, $100 million. Bainbridge Deweese, why no Megapod on Apple Podcasts yet? Didn't you guys record it yesterday? Yes. We'll get it up. Promise this morning. Brian Schaefer, Gil, you being a Commanders fan and me being an Eagles fan, we're trained not to like anyone in the current NFC East. That being said, Cowboys suck. I guess commenting on my John Harbaugh take. We'll get to more of your tweets. We have a backlog of them, so I will get to them. But we want to do this NFL stage of elimination thing. And Kelly, you and I did this exercise, what would you say, a month ago?
Yeah, December 3rd, is that what you said, Danny? Yeah, December 3rd.
So a little more than a month ago.
More importantly, my birthday, but also known as the day we did stage of elimination.
Happy belated birthday.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Kelly never lets anybody know that it's his birthday. So Kelly turned 22, I believe it was.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
So these were our guesses. Let's see. I have no idea if we did well or poorly when we did these December 3rd. We'll also update them here right after. But just for giggles, let's see what we said. Patriots stage of elimination. We both said AFC Championship or divisional round. So that's in play for the Patriots.
Yeah.
That makes sense. AFC Championship was plus 370 at the time. At the time, was that the number? Divisional round was plus 140, right?
Numbers at the time, yep.
Broncos stage of elimination, not so much. We didn't. We
got that one seed.
We didn't anticipate them getting the one seed. We said wild card round plus 210. So on that. Colts stage of elimination, Colts. We got that right. Missed playoffs plus 240.
Man, this was only back to December 3rd, and we still could have gotten a plus 240 on the Colts to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, man.
I feel like I should have bet that.
And then I nailed Chargers stage of elimination at 2-1 wild card round. You said they'd miss the playoffs, so. Score one for Gil.
Look at you, man. Stacking up dubs on this. Should have bet these.
Dubs. Now, as far as what there's more.
We got one more. Yeah,
Jaguars. We said wild card round at even money. Bang, we nailed that. Okay, here was our Achilles heel. Bears, I said miss playoffs. No. You said divisional round. That could still happen, plus 350. And then Eagle stage of elimination, we all said divisional round. We were wrong on that. It was wild card week. We had divisional round plus 255. So mixed results.
Yeah.
Most good, some not so good.
Off the top of my head, though, I think we're up like a 0.6 unit. I'm going to go something like that.
Now, do you have the current ones, what they are right now?
We do. Danny does have those.
Stage of elimination.
Does have those. You can just run through them.
We'll do them real quick, Dan, before we get to Rookie of the Year of the NBA. This is pretty interesting. So the Patriots right now, to lose in the conference championship game, by the way, I don't see to lose in the divisional round. That's not up.
It can't happen. It won't happen, Gil. So that's the problem.
What do you mean? It is. Oh, I see. In your opinion, it won't happen. I'm like, isn't this the divisional week?
Yeah, I know. I'm going to guess they didn't list divisional round for. Yeah, they didn't list.
Oh, they didn't even put divisional rounds. Okay. So right, because you just bet the game. To lose in conference championship game plus 225. To lose in the Super Bowl plus 450. To win the Super Bowl 6-1. Well,
they lose in the conference championship game against Josh Allen.
Okay, I think they lose this week. But that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next team. We can just rattle through these. These are interesting to me if there's going to be anything that pops up. Seattle Seahawks. Again, no division rounds listed here. To lose in conference championship game, plus 215. To lose in Super Bowl, 4-1. Oh, that's an interesting one. To win Super Bowl, plus 270. Isn't to lose in Super Bowl the play there at 4-1?
Yeah.
Because they'll have two home games.
That's a big price. Yes.
That's the best bet so far.
Yes, that's the best bet.
To lose in Super Bowl at 4-1 as the number one seed. They're a 7 or 7.5 point favorite this week.
I mean, I'd assume they're a big favorite, right? Over whatever AFC team they face, but that's why you're getting. No, yeah, I'm with you. That's the bet.
That's to lose in the Super Bowl. 4-1. Yeah. The Rams, same sort of trajectory of the same sort of arc, right? To lose in conference championship game plus 190. To lose in Super Bowl 5-1. To win Super Bowl plus 320.
God, same thing.
I think if the Rams get that far, they're winning it all. That's just me.
I mean, probably.
But still.
But also, I would say that about the Seahawks, too. I just think the pricing.
To lose in Super Bowl, pricing looks pretty good there. That, to me, for the Seahawks and the Rams.
Likely those teams are both, Seahawks and Rams are likely favorites in the Super Bowl, so you could bet.
Seahawks and Rams likely face each other, right, in the NFC Championship. Let's just say, sorry, Bears. And sorry, opponents this week.
I hope that's the
Niners.
matchup.
Texans stage of elimination. This is interesting. To lose in conference championship game plus 320. To lose in Super Bowl 6-1. To win Super Bowl plus 850. See, again, I think to lose in Super Bowl to me. Now, a lot of people think they're going to get knocked out this week. I don't know. I'm not of that mind.
If they get past this week, I think they're extremely live to get to the Super Bowl, so I would only mess with one of those.
Let's put it this way. I like these to lose in Super Bowl prices.
Yeah.
Let's do one more. Let's keep them coming. Broncos. To lose in the conference championship game, plus 280. I like that. To lose in Super Bowl, plus 450. To win Super Bowl, 7-1. Now, they could lose this week, but if you had to bet one of these, I think to lose in conference championship game, plus 280. Anything wrong with that?
No, that's where I would go to.
That's where I would go.
I think they lose this week, but I really don't think they get by 2 weeks.
Bears to lose in conference championship game, plus 275. To lose in Super Bowl, 12-1. To win Super Bowl, 16-1. I don't think they win this week, but wow.
I mean,
they've defied the odds time and time again. No bet for me on this one.
If you like them this week, aren't you just betting them to win the Super Bowl?
Niners to lose the conference championship game, plus 390. To lose in Super Bowl, 15-1. To win Super Bowl, 20-1. And rounding it out, the Bills, the Buffalo Billiards, to lose in the conference championship game, plus 250. To lose the Super Bowl, plus 550. To win Super Bowl, plus 650.
To lose the Super Bowl.
Again, coming back with Tim Murray on a numbers game right here at VSiN.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Join the guru, John Hansen, at the intersection of prop betting and fantasy sports on Prop Points, only on VSiN.
You know what? I'm going to blame Andy Reid for cronyism because Matt Nagy stinks. A guy like Jefferson, you got to be a part of the solution, not part of the problem, and he's been part of the problem.
John and his guests will help you find the connection between the two and give you his expert advice on how to capitalize when a number is too good to pass up. Prop Points, weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on VSiN.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on a numbers game, live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gil Alexander, Kelly Bidlin, we get tweets at Beat of the Book. Y'all are the best. Bet on Pete says, can we get a gif of Bidlin saying always live?
Sure.
Did you say always live a lot?
I don't know.
I don't know either. This is from Marco Romanelli. I always respect your opinions. Love the show. I'm a Ravens fan. See below. What Marco sent me a big notes thing. And what he's getting at here is saying that the players constantly came up small for the Ravens in big situations under Harbaugh. And you are correct, Marco. There's absolutely blame to go around.
Yeah.
Flowers, multiple costly fumbles. Andrews dropping the 2-point conversion last year. Lamar, 12 turnovers in the playoffs. Likely fumbles.
I was going to say Lamar Jackson in the playoffs every year.
Yeah, he does concede the Henry lack of carries. This year was a miss by Harbaugh, but conversely, if Flowers doesn't fumble on the last drive, no question about it, man. And he says people in Baltimore don't want to admit that maybe the players aren't as good or clutch, so they cast all the blame on Harbaugh. They beat 2 playoff teams by double digits this year with their backup quarterback.
But, you'd still rather have your players than John Harbaugh.
Yeah. I mean, Marco, you're absolutely right. That's true, too. That doesn't. By the way, I wasn't trying to disparage John Harbaugh in any way. I'm just saying my excitement level is tempered as compared to some others who are gushing over it. New Jersey, New York, as a Giants season ticket holder, I hear your criticism and I somewhat agree with it. Here's my counter: 44-104-1 the last 9 years. That's the Giants' record versus 95-54 the last 9 years for Harbaugh. I don't care that he didn't win a ring with Lamar. He's the one coach out there who has the cachet to reduce Joe Shane's influence. Well, I can't argue with that. And certainly from a Giants perspective, it's a step up.
I thought about that part of it, too. This is, Joe Shane, me and you thought would be gone.
By now, many times.
And, as soon as I saw the Harbaugh name come across, it was one of the first things I thought of. Is that really, we're going to work together kindly as head coach and GM? If I was Harbaugh, I'd be throwing my weight around a whole lot more, that's for sure.
Absolutely. You're getting paid $100 million.
Yeah.
Stringfellow Hawk, lifelong Giants fan here. The only upside to the Harbaugh hire is his stability. Hopefully he brings in a good OC to develop Dart. Really like Stefanski. And then Tronsky reminds everybody for the Australian Open podcast that Kelly has rammed into Congress 3 Australian wines as a bonus.
That's right. Drew Dinsick's top 3 Australian wines. I should probably text him about it now that I've brought this up so many times.
Look at those pictures of the new RFK. I know it's not going to be called RFK.
Hey, did you see this?
T. Sheldoff, thoughts on your Skins' new stadium? For $4 billion, each seat should have a massage chair, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Maybe it will. You know who has opinions on RFK Stadium? Tim Murray.
Yes, he does.
He's from
he's seen the renderings.
He's from the DMV, as the kids say today. Tim Murray joins us now, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. He's the host of VSiN Primetime. He's the host of the College Football Tailgate Show. He's the host of the College Football Betting Podcast. How you doing, Tim?
I'm good. Yeah, the renderings are pretty exciting. Take the old. I think you stay on the red line to get to Stadium Armory. You might have to jump off. I can't remember if we have to transfer at Metro Center, but regardless,
got to transfer.
Let's bring it back, baby.
Yeah, I think you got to transfer. I could be wrong about that. It looks great. Okay,
you were a redliner. You're a Bethesda redliner.
We're on the red line side. Yeah, you keep knocking me into Bethesda. Just because I went to school there didn't mean I grew up there.
I thought you lived in Bethesda.
No, for a spell, yes, mostly in Northwest DC and Silver Spring. Tim is really trying to get that Bethesda thing in. Not that there's anything wrong. By the way, if I move back there,
I know where you went to school. I won't bring up that. I mean,
yeah, you wouldn't want to be over. You wouldn't want to have the athletic superiority embarrass you. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Okay, let's talk about the Natty. Let's start there. Where do you stand on this, Tim? Canes 8.5-point dogs at this point, which is interesting because I hear the folks with Miami tickets sort of, and it makes sense, right? It's like, okay, well, I don't want to lay minus 350. How else can I creatively do that? When minus 350 is the only hedge, right? Clean hedge on the other side. Those of us with Indiana futures, we really ought to take Miami plus the 8.5, and yet I'm hesitant because I just feel there's a scenario where the Hoosiers don't even have an issue with this number. I probably should do the responsible thing and take the 8.5. What is your thinking on this game, sir?
Well, I'm naked when it comes to, not right now, I am clothed, but I am naked from a futures standpoint, so I don't have to make that decision. But yeah, if you have a Miami ticket. And, something I talked about, and I imagine you hit on as well, before the bracket came out and our buddy Chris the Bear Felica and many others were championing that Miami should be in, there were some prices at 200 to 1 or so. So if you have that ticket in pocket, boy, you're feeling pretty darn good, even if you have to lay a heavy amount of juice on Indiana money line. On the flip side, like yourself with Indiana futures, I mean, you talk about it all the time, Gil, and I think you do a really good job doing it, is, it's kind of up to your discretion of, how much money did you put down? I personally, I would say this, if I had an Indiana ticket, I would have a decent amount on Miami plus 8.5, because I do see a scenario that this is a competitive game. I fully recognize that Indiana is a wrecking ball right now, and they have looked just flawless throughout this playoff run. But if Miami, and it's a big if, but if Miami could play a clean game on Monday night, I think this thing is very competitive. And I haven't bet it yet, Gil, because I don't think there's a rush to take the points yet. I know Chris Andrews over at the South Point has a 9 right now. We'll see how high it goes, but I think I'm going to end up on Miami taking the points here. Do I think they'll win the game outright? I don't. I think Indiana, I think this is their year. I think they're so buttoned up as a program, and it's hard to poke holes in this Indiana team right now, the way that they're playing, how well they are coached, how disciplined they are. And, let's be real. Fernando Mendoza has 5 incompletions and 8 touchdown passes this postseason run. But, for Miami, if they play like they played against Ohio State, where they had 0 penalties, which I guess, I recognize as a big if, I think this is a 4-quarter battle. And I can't wait to see, Gil, this Miami front against the Indiana defensive line. I think Shannon Dawson, the OC for Miami, is one of the better offensive coordinators in the country. I think Bryant Haynes is one of the better defensive coordinators in the country for Indiana. I think this is going to be a really, really competitive game, assuming that Miami can avoid the turnovers and the mistakes. And they didn't really do that against Ole Miss, right? They had 10 penalties in that game. They had a costly turnover. So I think Miami's going to want to hold the ball like they've done successfully in most of these games this postseason. And if they're able to play their game, I think this is a lower scoring grinder of a game.
I think you are correct. I would be an idiot not to take the plus 8.5, at least to get my outlay back. I think that's how I'm going to play it in the end. But you're right. There's no rush at this point.
Hey, Jets, real quick. But Tim, you think better chance we see a 9.5 or a 7.5 again?
7.5.
Okay.
That's what's my gut. I would be absolutely stunned if we got to 10. I think that would be a bridge too far. I think that's probably where everyone would jump in. What's interesting, guys, you think back to the Cotton Bowl on New Year's Eve. It was 9.5 most of the week, right? Miami, Ohio State. And on game day is when you saw that Kane money really hit the market, and it closed 7.5. So my guess would be, Kelly, to your question, I think we get a little bit of buyback on Miami closer to game time, because I would assume the people who are looking to bet Miami that have the ability to move the market, they're kind of feeling the same way we're all feeling. It's like, well, what's the rush, right? You see some of the betting splits that are out there. You hear some of the discussions that are out there regarding Indiana. It doesn't feel like you really need to race to take the points with Miami. Maybe you see a little game day steam on Miami. I think this lands 7.5, 8 would be my guess, before kickoff on Monday night.
Here's how I know 8.5 is too much. And I say this as a guy with an Indiana ticket, but 8.5 is gone crazy. Because if we had, how we have these discussions, Tim, before postseasons, where we say, okay, what do you think, right? A hypothetical line. And if we had said, all right, Miami, not only do they get into the playoff, right, which was an underdog to begin with, but they advance all the way to the national championship against, and then we would have hypothetical opponents. And we said Indiana. Our next sentence would be, well, if Miami got all the way to the championship, we would have a completely different feeling about them at that point, and so these lines would be way more muted, right? The fact that Miami got to the national championship and it's still 8.5, that's crazy just by that. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And look, I think I know there are going to be plenty of Indiana fans there. I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana fans outnumber Miami fans, but you still have to factor in the fact They are playing this on their home field. So there is a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit of that. So Miami closed 7.5 against Ohio State. Now they're 8.5, even a 9 out there. So, could the number be wrong, but Indiana still cover? Of course. I mean, that happens all the time. So that could be the case here, but I ultimately will be on the Canes plus the points. But I'll say this before we wrap. I will not have a money line ticket on Miami. I like the points. I think it's a lower scoring game, but I think Indiana ultimately, it's their season, man. Signetti, smoke those cigs. It's his year.